The sociopaths in Congress are currently trying to sneak in a bill that combines welfare benefits for illegals crossing the border with crony corporate tax cuts to sweeten the deal. Republicans are trying to slip this Trojan horse past their voters by calling it tax relief, in case you thought there was actually a good party in Washington. My colleagues Richard Stern and Preston Brashers have been on the top of this little gem that would cost us $155 billion per year if it passes. So what is the bill and what does it do? Called the Tax Relief for American Families and Workers Act, it's very Orwellian. The bipartisan bill, meaning the uniparty bill, gives millions of illegal immigrants welfare benefits. Of course, also for the millions more who are currently on their way. You would think such a bill would have zero chance of passing Congress, that Republicans would stop it. And enter the lobbyists, because the rest of the bill is a laundry list of lobbyist-approved tax breaks like retroactive depreciation and a nudge in Section 163 business amortization. I know, gripping stuff, but it pays the bills. It's even got a bizarre break slashing royalties tax on residents of Taiwan from 30% to 10% in case you wonder why lobbyists make the big bucks. So welcome to America's new ruling coalition. Illegal immigrants and corporate lobbyists. Two parties united. Of course, the bill authors are aware that Washington is currently running a $2.7 trillion deficit that will bankrupt our country, with Congress's own bean counters projecting $145 trillion with a T of national debt by 2053. So to cover the fact that this bill is adding to that to the tune of potentially trillions, they resort to Washington-level accounting fraud. Namely, they cancel a failed COVID-era employee retention credit that has paid out $230 billion, much of it fraudulent. Instead of simply winding down the program and admitting that they effed up, they label the long overdue wind down as $78 billion in savings and hand that to illegals and lobbyists. It's worth noting that those $78 billion in savings are more than that program was supposed to cost in the first place, so they promised a handout. They actually handed out $200 billion more than promised, and then they stopped handing it out and called that an extra $78 billion left over for their clients. Welcome to Washington. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. We actually stand a good chance of killing this particular bill after a bunch of us on Twitter and at Heritage raised the alarm. But they will be back because the uniparty ripoff is in full blossom, even as the people reject both parties at historic rates. One party goes insane, throwing voters to the other party, who takes their vote and rips them off. Has it end? With anti-establishment candidates who gut the cronies running both major parties. We're currently going into primary season, and this is your chance to give your donations, your volunteer time, and your vote to those anti-establishment candidates of either party who actually want to serve the people. After all, these criminals were voted in by the people in the first place, however gaslit they were, we have the power to vote them out. Okay? We'll be watching. See you next time.